everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make these butterfly cupcakes. These will be perfect for Mother's Day. To make these cupcakes you'll need some candy melts or regular chocolate. Now these candy melts are meltable candy wafers. I will put all the information you could ever want to know about them in the description box if you're wondering where to buy them and how to melt them and so on. Now I also printed out a butterfly wing template. What I did was a Google image search for butterfly wing template and I found these. I will put a link in the description box to these if you're interested in those particular ones, but there's lots of different shapes and sizes. I printed it out to the right size, then I placed a sheet of waxed paper over top of that. You could also use parchment paper. I melted my candy melts right in that pastry bag in the microwave at 50% power. And I cut a tiny hole in the end of the pastry bag. You could also use a Ziploc bag that's had the corner cut out as well. And then outline the wings in the candy melt or the chocolate. And once it's outlined, you can fill them in the way you want. You don't have to follow the design that's on the template. You can make up your own. And you will see I do a variety of different kinds of textures and designs and patterns in the butterfly wings as I go along. So once you do one butterfly, just move the wax paper and then continue. So you can see how I did different shapes. And that third one I did kind of little swirls and little circles. Put these on a cookie sheet or on a large plate and put them in the refrigerator until they're hardened completely. And once they're hardened completely, they detach quite nicely. Just be very careful because they are delicate. And you will notice that you will have two sides. One will be like a textured side and the other one will be quite flat. And you can decide which side you think is prettier. And I actually used both sides when I did these cupcakes. You will see the difference. Now fold your wax paper in half, just enough so that you get a line that you can see on the waxed paper, and then line up your butterfly wings on either side of that line. Once that's done, you can pipe in more candy melts for the butterfly body. And how you do this is up to you. You may have to make it thick enough so that the body actually makes contact with the butterfly wings, because that's what's going to hold everything together. So you can draw the body, the head, and the antennae. Then I took a piece of cardstock paper that's also been folded in half so it has a crease down the middle, and then I line up the creases from the waxed paper to the cardstock, and then the bodies of the butterfly will be along that crease and the wings will tilt up on either side. This way you'll have your wings at a really nice angle. Then put these in the refrigerator or the freezer and prop them up by putting something on either side of that cardstock to keep it in that V shape, in that folded position. Now these are the ones I did in chocolate, just to show you once again what the technique is. The one at the top, I didn't flip the wings over, and the ones on the bottom I did. So that's up to you how you want to do this. Same technique, folded waxed paper and then the cardstock, and then you tilt up the cardboard or the cardstock. You may have to rearrange the wings to get them at the right angle, and then refrigerate completely. Now another little detail I wanted to make for these, because I did make them for Mother's Day, was to make a little mom pic to put in a cupcake. So I just drew that mom with a pen on a piece of paper, and then I'm just going to outline it using some chocolate. So I did the heart in chocolate, and then I'm going to fill in the center of the heart, and then I'm going to draw the two M's the same way, making sure that the top of the M is in contact with the heart so it has something to stick to. And then I let it harden completely, and then I drew on a little pink heart over top. Let your creation harden in the refrigerator. Now the frosting I'm using to frost these cupcakes is a Swiss buttercream meringue frosting, which is really easy to make. It's basically egg whites and sugar over simmering water. You heat it until the sugar is dissolved and it reaches 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Take it off the stove, beat it until the egg whites are cooled and light and fluffy, and then add some butter, continue to beat, and you get your Swiss meringue buttercream. Now to tint this the color that I wanted, I'm using a brand new color. These are AmeriColor paste food colors that my parents actually bought me while they were in Florida this year, because you can't buy this where I live here in this part of Canada. And so I put a couple of drops of it. It's a paste food color, but it's a little bit more liquid than the Wilton kind. Now this is the first time I actually use this particular color. And just a couple of drops gave you a really nice shade of pink. So I really like that pink. I'll let you know how the other colors work out as I use them. Now, the pastry bags I'm using are disposable. I actually bought these on eBay. They were a really good price. They're a little bit flimsy, but they are perfect for this really soft kind of meringue frosting. So I cut the end off the bag, and then I'm inserting the large tip. That is a 1M tip. You don't need a coupler and a ring if you are using the large tips like that. So I filled it with frosting, twisted the end, and you're ready to go. And then you frost the cupcakes. I use kind of a circular swirling motion from the outside in. It makes a very delicate, ruffly kind of a frosting that looks a little like a flower. The cupcakes themselves are up to you. I'm just using plain vanilla cupcakes that I made from a boxed mix. What I do is I make a whole bunch of them. I put them in the freezer, and then I take out just a few at a time when I'm making cupcake decorating videos. But use your favorite cupcake recipe for the base. Now once they're all frosted, you can start to add your decorations. I recommend that you keep all your decorations refrigerated until you're ready to use them. And when you do insert these little mom picks, do it gently because they are very delicate. Same thing goes with the butterflies. Keep them refrigerated until you're ready to use them, because if your kitchen is very warm, just the heat from your hands may start to melt them as you're touching them. So place them on the cupcake and just gently press them into the frosting, and you are done. I really like the way these looked all grouped together like this with the same color frosting but different color butterflies. But this part is up to you. You can change up the frosting and change up the color of the butterflies to your liking, and maybe you can even pick maybe your mom's favorite colors as well. Now because it's a Swiss meringue buttercream and you are dealing with egg whites, what I suggest you do is if you make these ahead of time, I would put them in the refrigerator until you're ready to serve them. And then I would take them out about an hour beforehand to just let that frosting soften up a little bit. Give it a try. Now I have another butterfly cupcake that I've already done. It's Monarch butterfly. The butterfly isn't quite as delicate and as wispy as these ones, but it's equally pretty and not that hard to do. So click on your screen or check out the link in the description box. And if you're interested in my Swiss meringue buttercream recipe, click on that refrigerator on your screen or in the link in the description box. Thanks for watching.